Party people, what's up? Welcome to the Self-Care Bear Club. I'm Care, your friend, your host, your biggest fan, and I'm so glad you're here. If you're unaware, the Self-Care Bear Club is a place where we tune all our attention inward to our source energy. We are source-centered. You might think you're self-centered, but you're actually source-centered. And we feed the good wolf inside of us. So what does that mean? Well, you have a choice, my friends. Every single second, every single day, you can feed into the lies, the bullshit, the corruption, the conditioning of fear, anxiety, and worthlessness. Or you can choose to be free and fun and happy and stress-free. Not always easy, but it is that simple. So today we are talking about how stressing is a lesson. Stressin is a lesson. Have you already noticed this? Have you implemented this? It is true, stressin is a lesson. And as humans, we are, again, in my belief, designed to stress. Wherever you think it comes from, if you think it comes back from your ancestors, okay, there's some of that, from your family, there's some of that, but we don't even need to designate where it comes from. What we need to focus on is the path forward, right? The path forward. If you find yourself stressing constantly, no, you're not alone. No, you're not broken. You're gonna be okay. But it's something that you've got to fix if you haven't noticed. If you're fucking sick of it and you're like, why isn't anybody coming to save me? Or why is therapy maybe sometimes making it worse? Because talking about the problem is not how we solve the problem. And again, you're not a problem. It's not a problem. We just live in a world where that's what it is. And if you actually take 2 seconds to think about it right now, what is your biggest problem? Generally speaking, it's probably something to do with financials or work related, right? Or maybe it's health related and relationship related. In the grand scheme of things, we say live like you're dying and all that shit that we forget in the moment, it's really not that big of a deal. I'm not saying you're not a big deal, because you, my friend, are a big fucking deal. You, my friend, are a big fucking deal. And that's why we're here, right? We are connecting to source. And we are figuring out how to live this life, again, in a free, happy, fun way. So we will discuss how stressing is a lesson. You can use your stress as a lesson, and slowly but surely, step by step, it will become easier. I don't like my hair if you're watching me on YouTube. If you're not watching me on YouTube, you can find me on YouTube. We're going to put our hood back up and get going. So, stressing as a lesson. Again, the more you do it, practice makes progress with anything, my friends. So be kind to yourself as we move along. But it's gonna, when you decide that you can use stress as something as just that you can manage rather than it managing you, you're gonna build resilience. Yeah, you're gonna build self-awareness, a self-aware bears here, and you're gonna learn to adapt. You're gonna become more flexible. You're not gonna let anything get your goat out here, right? People, circumstances, uncontrollable things. So this is just such a good practice. Nobody wants to be stressed and anxious all the time. Nobody. I don't care who you are. If you're like, no, that's my personality. You're here. Let's get going. So the first thing is you're going to want to recognize this, right? You're already in the Self-Care Bear Club, so you've already made the decision. You've already recognized some patterns and some things that are unconscious, subconscious, that again, just were there before you even decided. Somebody else decided for you, right? And now we're making the conscious decision to be aware of when we're stressing, what stress feels like, right? What it feels like in your body. This has been a big one because I know mentally where I want to be. And then some days I forget that it all is connected. And if you're not working with the body, which I know that and whatever, layers, right? So you're going to want to notice, drop down into your body and notice what happens when you're feeling stressed. Your breath might change. Your heart rate might change, right? On any level, any extremity, any subtle level. And you might notice your thoughts racing, stuff like that. You might notice places where your body tenses. That's where I've been lately, like releasing years of tension, right? So notice, just notice. Notice without judgment. I hate when people say that shit. That's the work, right? That's what we gotta do. Without judgment, best you can. If you're not even aware of it, don't start judging it now, right? Just be aware of it and take out that judgment piece, and it'll save you a lot of time. If you got the judgment, don't beat yourself up, because that, my friends, is judgment. Judging the judgment is the stickiest form of judgment. We will be okay. We will work through it. Continue on. Your heart rate, your breathing, your posture, your body language, everything changes when you're stressed. And you might be in such a chronic state of stress that you're like, I don't know, because I just always feel like a wound up fucking ball of yarn. It's okay. How are we going to manage this? Well, we can start by asking ourselves, what are we in control of? Our thoughts, our feelings. Our thoughts and our feelings. If this is a new idea to you, you might want to argue with me. No, Carrie, I'm not in control of them. They go nuts. They go wild. I'm up all night stressing. Stressing is that lesson, right? Practice. You've got to start asking yourself simple questions like, why? Or what is this telling me? Why do I feel this way? What can I provide myself right now? That's a better one. Because again, you don't really necessarily need to know why. If it helps, yay! But sometimes we get stuck in the why, we being I. And the why is just another layer of like powerlessness, in my opinion, right? You're giving your power away. You're like, oh, I grew up in this household and it did this to me. Oh, I got daddy issues. Oh, I got mommy issues. Oh, I got a toxic partner. Okay. What are we going to do about it? We're going to decide that we are not powerless and that we have control only certain things. So in that same respect, you are powerless to what is happening for now, until you start making conscious decisions to upgrade your energy field. So what can be controlled and what cannot in that present moment? Your thoughts. Worrying is just, you're not living presently. You're worrying about something that either has probably not happened yet or has happened already, and you're just ruminating over it, and it's like, well, it already fucking happened. So like, again, how do we proceed forward? Stressing I want you to start small. Start small, right? This can be as simple as like getting annoyed in traffic, like getting annoyed at the grocery store, waiting in line. Like, start with small fucking things. You're not gonna wanna start at the hardest thing. Like, if you're so scared to fucking, I don't know, die or like change your career path or anything like that, like, don't start with a big thing that feels like it's looming over you. Start in the daily things, how you talk to your friends, how you talk to your person, how you relate to somebody that maybe you stress about, a family member or somebody who's close to you. Generally speaking, we're generally not stressing about strangers, right? So start small. Ask what it is you can control. If there's something you can change in the moment, change it. Change it. Move away from said person. Ask to start that conversation another time. Regroup, right? If you are stressed about being late all the time, set an alarm 10 minutes before you got to be somewhere so you can plan ahead. There's certain things you can control and you can plan for. Again, the inevitable might happen. We've got a big fucking, it's not that big. But if you live in Virginia or anywhere in the States, like the last week or so, there's been like this whole fear, anxiety shit around a snowstorm. Perfect example. Everybody, almost everybody I've run into, love you dearly, has been stressing about it. Me, I almost got caught up in it. I did get swept up in it for 5 or 10 minutes here or there. But that's a great example. Turn off the news. If you're stressing watching the news, why the fuck are you gonna keep watching the news? I need to be informed. I need to know everything. I need to blah, blah. No, you really don't. Hello, you don't. It doesn't make you stupid. It doesn't make you less worthy. It actually makes you much happier and not conditioned in fear and anxiety. I believe that shit is designed to keep you scared. Okay, what happens if this snowstorm, the power goes out, Carrie, or the water breaks? Well, newsflash, if you've lived in Richmond, Virginia recently, I literally have lost water twice. To third world countries, that means nothing. To us, it means something. It's all relative, right? I survived. I'm still here alive and kicking. Was it annoying as fuck? Yeah, it was a little bit annoying. Do I want the power to go out right now so I don't have ways to eat all the delicious food I fucking bought because we're hoarding out here? Or do I want to not have my central heat going? Not at all. I really don't. Making these choices doesn't mean you don't want the luxuries in life, friends. It just means you're willing to accept what you cannot control and then approach the present moment, basically. Boom. Okay. So we're planning. If it helps ease our anxiety, our stress, and we're releasing what we literally can't control. We can't control how somebody reacts to us. We can't control if somebody likes us or if they doesn't. So let's stop fucking worrying about it. Sooner the better, right? We cannot control others. We can simply control our space, our bubble, our peace, protect our peace. And that comes with practice. And again, if it makes you feel better to plan things, plan them out, and then just remember that shit's gonna hit the fan at some point. And you're gonna learn to be flexible whether you want to or not. So let's learn. This practice each time is gonna be a choice we make, right? Stressin as a lesson is gonna be a constant choice. So say you're somebody who constantly gets road rage. That's a good one. I am no stranger to this, right? Things are annoying. That's a great practice to be like, you know what? Who fucking cares? That's one of my favorite sayings, and I somehow forgot it recently. We're bringing it back. Who fucking cares? Who fucking cares? Who fucking cares? Again, that's uncontrollable. And if you have to drive in traffic every day, you gonna be mad every fucking day? That's a choice. That's a choice, bruh, sisters. That's a choice. A choice I'm not willing to make anymore. So again, practice these decision makings. What can you control? You can turn on a podcast, a good song. You can phone a friend if you're sitting in traffic, right? So this is a very minuscule thing here, right? I know you're stressing about bigger things in your life. You're like, Carrie, but traffic is the least of my worries. Yeah, I fucking know. But what prison are you creating, right? And how are you reacting to your stress, excuse me. So that's going to be our decision making moving forward. Are we grabbing the wine at every site of stress? Are we scrolling through our phones like the moment we get stressed out? Are we distracting ourselves from the pain because we just can't take it? You can take it. We have to learn to sit with being uncomfortable. We have to learn. So sit with it. I know you don't want to, but sit with it. And if you can't sit with it all day, you don't have that time, then carve out 10 minutes a day to sit with your stress and manage it. Control your breathing. Control your breathing. Say a prayer. Go on a walk. Instead of bitching about it, go take a swim. You can also bitch about it. Sometimes we just need to talk to somebody. I heard a statistic the other day that says when you feel alone, which is a great feeling of stress, right? That's a very stressful feeling, one I'm super familiar with. When you're feeling alone, it only takes 7 or 8 minutes, I think they said, of talking to somebody to instantly feel some sort of relief. You might not jump again from the bottom of the emotional scale to the fucking ecstatic, but it just gives you this sense of connection, self-care connection that we all want, that we're all looking for. Man, so phone a friend and do vent that shit out. Do vent that shit out. But as you're venting, make a vow that you're not gonna hold on to this, right? We're gonna let it go. And they also said to that point that you should have a code word, a little code phrase for when you do really need somebody. Because for this example, this woman was reaching out to her best friend, and a few weeks later, it all came out that she was struggling and she just needed somebody to talk to. And he was like, well, why didn't you tell me you needed me? And she was like, well, I did. And then he went back through his text messages, and the text was just like, hey, what are you doing? Like any normal conversation they would ever have. So to him, he could go about his day and just be like, oh, don't have time for her today. Like, I'm doing my business, and not think anything of it. So he was like, man, I didn't know you really needed somebody. I just thought we were shooting the shit. So they came up with the code phrase that was like, I need 8 minutes. Or you can say cheese doodle. Or you can say, help. Make it dramatic if that's helpful. But reach out to your peeps. Reach out to me. I need 8 minutes of your time. And anybody can give you 8 minutes of their time. Even if it's not in that present moment, you can find 8 minutes before the day is over to feel connected to somebody. So connection is gonna keep your stress in check. So we're releasing control. We're managing what we can. We're going with the flow. We are returning to our breath, our yoga practices, or whatever, our singing, our creativity, right? Instead of constantly reaching for the wine, the Netflix, the distraction, the boys. Oh, did I love the boys? But I didn't even. I was like hating myself, you know what I mean? So, and this is not saying don't drink wine, don't hang out with boys. Again, it's all about the mindset and what you're reacting to. If you're doing all that for sheer funsies, let's fucking go. But if you have noticed, again, go back to all the awareness that we're building using stress as a lesson. You'll build this awareness of, oh, okay, I do eat a lot of cookies when I'm feeling shitty. And that's okay. So we're going to do that. And then lastly, but not leastly, we can reframe eventually the way we feel about stress. I forgot about this one too, and I love it. The easiest one for me was to reframe like some of my stress as nervousness, like that kind of stress, like before trying something new, before performing, getting on stage, posting content, having a tough conversation, to tell myself, my shoulders are getting like nervous thinking about it, tell myself that this is excitement. This is excitement. Stress and excitement are the same chemicals. So again, it might not work in every scenario. It's going to take a lot of practice, but it's true. Like when I go to get on stage or, share something with a friend that I'm still a little insecure about, it's like, oh, this is exciting. This is just new. This is just me excited, right? This is just me getting excited. And that's a good one. Sorry, we have the screensaver here and I'm just hoping it's still recording. New. Pause everybody on Spotify. Sorry, you can't see what's happening. No visual here, but your girl set up all her shit finally. If you can believe it, I have been living without Wi-Fi for 2 years. 2+ years. Crazy, right? Living without Wi-Fi. Who does she think she is? 10/10 recommend, but you know, there's no need to struggle out here. There's no need to struggle out here when I'm doing stuff like this and requiring the internet. But go to the library. Check out your local library if you haven't in a while. So back to reframing your stress. You can reframe it as excitement, or when next time you notice your body, maybe your temperature rising. That's another good one to notice if stress is coming your way. Like, tell yourself, oh, my body is responding to challenges. It's preparing to fight, basically. And we don't want to live in that fight or flight, but it's like, I just felt better when I said that. Oh, like superhero pose. Like, my body is preparing to fucking deal with this. And then if you deal with it and you stop distracting yourself, it's like, duh. Duh. That's it. You can feel prepared to handle stress. And when you don't sweat the small stuff, that's a good book. Let's bring that book back. Don't sweat the small stuff, and it's all small stuff. Then the big things won't seem as scary. Because if you're bitching about going outside when it's cold, if you're bitching about not having Wi-Fi, if you're bitching about, traffic, I would hate to see you in a fucking crisis. Like a real crisis. And you'd be fine. You really would be fine, because you know what happens in a real crisis? We fucking nut up or shut up. We really do. Nut up or shut up. Or you go on a... Did you hear my stomach? If the mic picked that up, that'd be intense. Or you go in a hole and you cry. You are the wink of sleep. Goodbye, right? Like, some of this stress could literally be coming from your ancestors. When you actually had to run from tigers and shit. Can you imagine? And now we're like, oh, my phone is dead. Oh, I can't talk to a stranger and ask them for help. You can. The world is not a scary place, my friends. It is if you stress and you don't manage it, right? You will create this prison, and your life will turn into this big ball of stress that just doesn't go anywhere, because where your focus goes, wait, what do they say? Energy flows to where your focus goes, energy flows. Yeah. So ease up a little bit. Just focus on your breath. Focus on staying hydrated. Focus on reframing stress. Each time you have a choice, and each time it's going to get a little easier, my friends. I pinky promise. Manage what you can. Release what you have absolutely no control over. Say a prayer. That's super helpful. Do a little dance. Write it down. The message is always the same. Unconditional self-love will manage your stress. You're going to be all right out here. You're building resilience, self-awareness. You're learning to adapt to this new world. There's no shame and blame here for you, my friends. I have nothing but love for you. Legitimately. I laugh because it's so silly to me sometimes that this is what we're teaching, because it's not a teaching, it's a remembering. So as always, I don't give advice. I'm talking this shit to myself. And each time I learn more and more and more and more and more. So thank you for being here. Use that Stressin as a lesson. It's a fucking blessing to be alive. And it's a fucking blessing that you're listening to me. So remember, it all begins within. So give yourself a hug. Take care out there, my friends. I will see you in the next episode.